Today, I bring you the story of the lizard man who stalks in the woods.
Long ago existed monsters terrorizing humans for thousands of years. We believe they had been gone in hiding, but I'd fear the worst would ever come again to humans. The human race will now prepare for their return, walking amongst us in disguise. They now find the time to strike when we are weakened by fear. You may think it is a rumor, but it is not. I must say one thing to you and all. This is no campfire story. This is all but too true. The story of the lizard man walking amongst the woods, preying on unsuspected victims. His yellow eyes is the first thing you see, and then, if you're lucky, you see him for all he is, a terrifying creature, evil incarnate. Some call him by many names, but there is only one name that I know he goes by, and he calls himself Iguanus. Welcome everybody to the first of the October series of the creepy, the crawly, the scary, the terrifying, and the monstrous of Transformers. This is Legacy Iguanus. Now, Iguanus is a Transformer monster pretender. If you're not sure what a pretender is, go and do some research on it. I'm sure you'll really love the concept of pretenders. This is based off of the G1 pretender Iguanus. The vehicle mode is actually based off of the Inner Robots vehicle mode. So I thought that was really cool that they merged both Pretender shell design and the Inner Robots vehicle mode into one figure. I have been waiting for Pretenders to make a comeback, and it looks like with Legacy, that's one of the best things coming from, in my opinion. So, let's take a look at his vehicle mode. He has gold paint applications. He's got some gold here. He's got red here, gold here. And along the front, on both sides, he does have some red paint. And I'm using a blast effect to try to stand him straight, because being a motorcycle with no kickstand, it is kind of difficult to try to get him to stabilize. Ooh. So yeah, he's got red along each side, an almost off-white for the windshield, and a purple Decepticon insignia. His forearms, in this case, it would be it would be black, painted black with spikes. He's got spikes here, and there's a fair amount of paint applications for it being a core class figure. I would have loved bigger, but I don't mind this. I'll take this. Now, his weapon is gold with some red paint on it, and as you can see, here it is. Like a weird energy effect. It looks like an energy blade from Halo. Put that off to the side. So it does have a 5mm port on the top, so you can really put any kind of weapon on there that has a 5mm. So, for example, Starscream's Null Ray, you can slap that on there if you want. The choice is yours. It's not Chuckarama, but the choice is yours. And as you can see, this is clearly his tail right here, which has plenty of molded detail. This figure has a good amount for it being what it is. I can't really complain about it. So if you really want to, you can take a smaller figure. So I'll bring in one of the Insecticons. And I guess he can ride around him, scoot around him around town, making his way downtown. So yeah, this is not a bad vehicle mode. And then, of course, here's top view. You can see more of the red on him. There's red up and towards the windshield. So let's go ahead and let's get him transformed into his monster mode, is what I like to call it. Now here he is in his most iconic mode. Of course, it is his monster mode, his monster pretender mode. Now he's got, you can see more clearly of the red paint on his chest, along with a belt. Let's bring it in closer. He doesn't want to stand. Please stand. Please. And he's got a cool little belt that has a lizard head on it, which a lot of the Generation 1 Pretender monsters all had a cool little monster looking belt, which, just for example, let's bring in one of his buddies, and even he has a little skull right there on his belt. So it's pretty cool. And it's a good translation over, I'll say. It's a pretty good translation over to this from his Generation 1 counterpart. He does have ball joints, and you can see very much better in this form. You can see all the little details. He's got spiked toes. Let's bring that in. Yeah, so you can really see it. Yeah, so I really do like this figure. He does have articulation at the shoulder. You can do almost a, well, you can, yeah, I guess you can get away with doing a full 360. Ball joint at the elbow. No articulation in the hand. You can move his head around. His head is on a ball joint, but it's hindered from the back. Let's take a look at the head. He's got yellow painted eyes. He's got teeth, but those aren't painted, but I'm not going to complain. He's got his little nose holes, and he's got all these cool little spikes all over him, and he's even got like a texturized, scaly looking head. That's cool. Again, I really enjoyed the Pretenders and the concept behind them. So, again, it is awesome that we're getting the Pretender monsters, at least. They've done, so far, they have done Bombburst and Skullgrin. I don't have them yet. I do have their Prime Master versions, though, but it's cool they're doing these, and I actually prefer the Pretender monsters a lot more than the Autobot ones, even though I really liked the... Well, I liked them equally, but I really thought the monsters were very, very unique, and that was a very unique idea to go with that. He does have articulation at his hip, has a nice swivel, and ball joint at his knee, ball joint at the hip, so he can articulate his thigh and the rest of his leg, and has a ball joint at his foot, so you can get some really good like ankle pivoting going on, so you can get some pretty good poses out of this figure. And that's one thing I can give Hasbro props for, is really improved articulation with like a modern action figure motif to it. Yeah, he's got just plenty of detail, and this doesn't want to tab in. Why don't you want to tab in? You're a monster, you're a freak. Oh, he didn't like that. You didn't like that. Yeah, it's really great. I mean, I just like the concept of Pretenders and having something with a modern take to it. Awesome. I like the monstrous form that his robot mode is, instead of it being a standard robot or something modeled after his inner robot. It's his actual Pretender shell. I'm really looking forward to what they do in the future with more of the Pretenders. It'd be really cool if they did Thunderwing. That's one of the ones. One of the other ones I'd like them to do would be like Bludgeon. That would be really cool. And, well, Weapon. You may have thought, oh, did he forget the weapon? I did not. I wouldn't forget his weapon. So, these all have a smaller port, which kind of funny if you really want to. The Prime Masters, well, I guess he can't hold it, but it's the same size, as you can see. So, I mean, if you really want to, you could, well, I guess in this case he can't. But if, if his arms were molded a little bit different on the forearms, you could have him hold that. So what I like to do is I like having the red energy blades facing forward. It just has a very Halo style weapon look to that. And, well, like pretty much all these weapons, you can add a blast effect into it, so he can decimate the Autobot forces and the humans from within. So yeah, there you go. There is the Transformers Legacy Iguanus. I got plenty more to come. I've got some of older figures. One that I'm looking forward to, which I have been wanting to do, but I figured, you know what? Let's save it for October, spooky month. You got the skeletons tooting their horns. There's plenty more monsters to come. So, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about his Pretender monster? Do you like the Pretenders? What Pretender would you like to see, come out next in this line? And most of all, let me know what your favorite Decepticon or Predacon creatures are your favorite. If you want to see more, I have social media. For those who aren't aware, I do have a new Twitter. That one is just for the YouTube channel. That is Beastman Review. And then, of course, The Mighty Beastman on Twitter and on Instagram at The Mighty Beastman. And thank you for watching, and prepare for more creature features to come. Yes!